Hey guys, you're Off Deck with Lucy, and I am joined by the wonderful, talented, amazing Gloria Rosen. We've just come straight from her amazing performance. Listen, can you hear me now? Tell the viewers a little bit about your play.
Well, it is personal, it's autobiographical, which of course is what personal means, and it's about my life growing up with my deaf parents. What is unusual about the way I grew up was that my parents would not allow me to sign, which was my father's primary means of communication. Mm-hmm. So it made things a little tricky. We would tell my mother stuff, and she would tell my father stuff, and we didn't know if she was actually repeating the same stuff we were telling her, because sometimes you'd say something to her, and her expression didn't exactly match what we said and what she said to him. But we said, "Did you say that to him?" I don't know. So, and in the show, I play a lot of different characters, which is really, fun for me and fun for the audience. And so kind of off the top of my head, I've got my deaf parents, I've got my Jewish grandmother, I've got a frustrated relay operator, I've got a clueless social worker, I've got a little head in a box. I can't think of anybody else, but there's like 26 of them floating around.
And you did such a wonderful job, and that's what really amazed me, is it is a one-woman show, but you had my attention throughout that whole piece. It was funny, it was heartfelt, there was every emotion that could have possibly taken place, and I ended up watching it just saying, oh my gosh, I can't wait to ask all these questions about the play. Now first up, you gave us a bit of a background to the play. In the play it speaks about how your mom had told you not to show any expression. She did not want to see that. Now you're in an industry which is all about being expressive. How did you take that leap into the art world?
Well, when I was a little girl, I had my own little puppet, and I did a little thing. I think it was, I don't know if it was kindergarten or what it was very young, mm-hmm. But it was the first time that I had been on stage and just doing all this stuff myself, and I think it was right then that I knew. I knew I wanted it. I knew somewhere in my head I knew I wanted to do this. And when I was in high school, I was in a history class. Mm-hmm. And I was always fighting about politics and giving my opinion and mouthing off, and I was absolutely a pain in the ass. And the teacher was smart enough to know that I actually cared nothing about the politics. I just liked the drama. And instead of telling me to go into teaching or political science or any of that, he put me in the drama class. He just put me in the drama class. And I thought that was a great idea. And I really enjoyed that. And that's the one thing I really, really loved. And I had no problem memorizing anything. It was just something I learned over the last couple of days, explaining about my parents and everything, mm-hmm. because I did not sign, I could not do a simultaneous translation. Usually when somebody is talking to a deaf person and there's an interpreter there, what you will see is the interpreter interpreting while the other person is talking. Well, I couldn't do that because they were reading my lips, so I couldn't interrupt the person to tell them what they were saying. Right. So I had to wait till whatever they were saying was done and remember what they said, and turn around and tell my parents. And I really think that's why I have a very good memory.
You have an incredible memory, because first up, to do that one-woman show, straight out, all those different characters, the whole script, deliver it without any hesitation, it was breathtaking. Now, with regards to the play, what do you hope that the audience takes away from it?
The most important thing to me, this goes beyond deaf and hearing. Mm-hmm. That is my particular circumstance. But there are a lot of ways to feel not part of wherever you grew up, because the deaf world and the hearing world are completely separate. And I was a total outsider to my parents' world. I was not included at all. But you can be gay, you can be too big, you can be too small, you can have a funny accent, you can be a person of color, and it will exclude you from certain places. And sometimes wherever you are, sometimes the place you are. But we're all very unique. Everybody has their own story. Everybody has their own, absolutely something to offer in their own unique life. And that's what I wanted to celebrate, is you just take joy in that. You just take joy in absolutely in who you are, and you'll find your own place, your own voice, and your own life, and then people who are listening. And I'm listening.
And I'm listening, going through all of that and thinking to myself, you're part of a festival that brings so many different artists together with so many different voices, like you said, and getting their word out. Why was it important to be part of the Fringe Festival here in the city?
The Fringe Festival, the fellow who came today, which I was telling you about, he is artistic director of off-Broadway theater, and I have been trying to get him to see my show since 2007. Because we were in a group together, a writing group together, and he knew about it, but he was just never able to come. And this is the first time he's come, and I think it is because it is the Fringe. And people come to the Fringe. Because unlike some of the other festivals where you can just kind of buy your way in, this is an adjudicated show. You have to pass a bunch of judges to get in this. So you should be good. I mean, so you gotta have something to say. You gotta have something to say to get through all this and get in the festival.
It did. Do you think that, and we'll have to finish up because, you know, I could literally talk to you forever. You have such a fascinating story and you're so talented. And I think you're a great inspiration for the acting industry, for actors, producers, writers, just when it comes to being passionate about what you do, creating it and making sure that it gets seen and supporting others while you're making your own projects. How has New York influenced your work?
Oh God, I love this city. I mean,
that's the good thing to say for our guest.
I just love this city. I loved LA, and the weather is wonderful. I can't drive there. His producer offered me her car, and I said, someone will die in 5 minutes. Try to drive in this city, because when you're in New York, you drive this way or you drive this way. When in California, you drive up hills. I can't. No, New York is just so alive. There's just there's theater, you know, everywhere you go. And I live in Hell's Kitchen. So there's theater, you know, just all over the place. And there are wonderful people here. I mean, I have a wonderful team in California, but I found some wonderful people here to work with as well. I mean, Suzanne has been terrific, you know, to work with. And my authorized company representative, which exists only at the Fringe. That was Danielle, who you just met.
Who was wonderful.
It's just, I just feel home here. I just feel at home here. I feel safe. I go out at, you know, midnight, you know, to do stuff. I mean, I grew up in Queens, and I never really felt safe out there in the house. But every time I come back, it's like, yes.
Well, we're so glad that this is your home and you're able to create this amazing work. And guys, you can find out more about all of our blogs here at the YouTube channel. You can go to ondeckwithlucy.com for our first season, second season coming in October. And Gloria, how can people find out more about you?
Well, they can go to my brand new page, my web page, which is www.listencanyouhearmenow.com. And we have 2 more performances at the Fringe tomorrow and next Saturday. And they can go to fringenyc.org, you know, for tickets. And that's and then hopefully down the road, my next step is going to be writing a book, because everybody's been pushing me to write a book.
See, I thought you were going to say next step to Broadway. I was like, yes, it will be.
Well, it would be off-Broadway. That's what we want.
Off-Broadway and then a book as well.
And then a book, yes.
I love it. Well, guys, watch out for Gloria, because she's taken over here with her amazing stuff. And thank you again for being off deck with us. Ladies.